Okay, here's a look at the mower and the electronics are inside of this area here, and you can see it's got a bunch of relays, which all those relays are hooked up to various devices, and I'm using the switch that actually the mower started with, and I've just mounted it in the back of this box, and everything operates off of this remote and this one. So with these two remotes I have all the functions, and without starting the mower I'm going to switch over to the mow functions, which are here. Push this button and it lowers the deck, and that would engage the blades. Now that actuator over there has let the deck down, and of course I use the manual setting for the deck height. Now if I push the button again, it's disengaging the blades, and the actuator is actually moving the going to pull the deck up. And I mow actually quite high, so it's not going to move it very much, but you're going to see it grab a hold of the deck lever and move it up. So again, it doesn't move very much, but I can adjust that by turning this knob here. So now the deck height is going to be less, so it'll be lower. See, now it's going down. Now I'm going to raise the deck back up. You see, it's just moving the lever. Okay. On the other actuator, this is the linear rod, and it's just a rod that's actually attached to the end of the actuator. And this is a 500-pound actuator. Inside of this box is just two micro switches with a piece of fuel tubing between them. So as this rod goes down, the piece of fuel tubing hits a switch and stops it. And then if I send it the other way, then whenever the tube gets to the other end, it hits the switch and turns it off. This actuator here has a potentiometer in it, so it's got its own feedback, so I didn't have to add this device to it. Shifting of the gears is done via the radio. So if you can see there's reverse, and I can move the gear shift just by holding one button, and it's going to send it all the way down through the gear travel, and also have it set up so that I can do it quickly. So if I want to go into reverse, I hit this switch here, and it's going to send it into reverse. And if I move that switch back forward, it's going to go in third gear. So I have it manually set to go in third gear. So, but if I want to go in first or second, then I simply hold it and let it bring it back to, say, second gear or first. And again, throw the switch, goes to reverse, switch again, goes to third. So I mainly run in reverse and third, so I set that up on the switch. Okay, here's a look at the cam and the steering actuator mechanism. There's a big wheel that's attached to that cable, which is attached to the actuator. So as the actuator moves in and out, so does that cable. And the cable attaches to the round wheel, the large round wheel. The inner wheel, which is more of a cam shape, that turns on and off those switches. So if I move the steering wheel a little bit, I've actually turned on one of the switches, and the cam is actually left there, and the outer wheel catches up to it and turns the switch back off. So I'm going to let go of the steering now, and you see it's going to go back, and again it turned the switch off. So, and the same thing in the other direction. Whenever I move the wheel, all I'm doing is turning the cam to turn on the switch, and the steering actually catches the switch back up to the open lobe of the cam and turns it back off. So that's how the steering works, and it's proportional. So if I move the steering wheel a little bit, the cam moves a little bit, the tires move a little bit. Like that.